सभी का स्वागत है। जैसे मैंने अपनी सबसे पहली वीडियो में बताया था कि मैं अगली वीडियो में एक स्कूल विद रस्किन बॉन्ड का सबसे पहला चैप्टर शुरू करूँगी। तो हम उससे पहले शुरू करने से पहले कंटेंट में देख सकते हैं कि इसमें पूरे 17 चैप्टर्स है और उसमें से 4 पोएम्स है। तो उसका जो पहला चैप्टर है वो है बी प्रिपेयर्ड। आज मैं सिर्फ बी प्रिपेयर्ड की सिर्फ इंग्लिश में रीडिंग करूँगी और उसकी अगली वीडियो में मैं उसका एक एक पेज एक्सप्लेन आसान हिंदी शब्दों में करूँगी। तो उसका पहला पेज हम देख सकते हैं। आई वॉज अ बॉय स्काउट वंस, ऑल्दो आई couldn't tell a slip knot from a granny knot, nor a reef knot from a thief knot. I did know that a thief knot was to be used to tie up a thief. Should you happen to catch one? I have never caught a thief and wouldn't know what to do with one since I can't tie the right knot. I had just let him go with a warning, I suppose, and tell him to become a Boy Scout. Be prepared, that's the Boy Scout motto. And it is a good one too. But I never seemed to be well prepared for anything, be it an exam or a journey or the roof blowing off my room. I get halfway through a speech and then forget what I have to say next. Or I make a new suit to attend a friend's wedding and then turn up in my pajamas. तो पहला पेज कंप्लीट हो चुका है। उसका नेक्स्ट पेज है So how did the most impractical of boys, survive as a Boy Scout? Well, it seems a rumor had gone around the junior school. I was still a junior then, that I was a good cook. I had never cooked anything in my life, but of course I had spent a lot of time in the tuck shop making suggestions and advising Chimpu who ran the tuck shop and encouraging him to make more and better samosas, jalebis, tikkis and pakoras. For my unwanted advice, he would favor me with an occasional free samosa. So naturally, I looked upon him as a friend and benefactor. With this qualification, I was given a cookery badge and put in charge of our troops' supply operations. Next page. There were about 20 of us in our troop. During the summer break, our scoutmaster, Mr. Oliver, took us on a camping expedition to Tara Devi, a temple-crowned mountain a few miles outside Shimla. That first night we were put to work peeling potatoes, skinning onions, shelling peas and pounding masalas. These various ingredients being ready, I was asked, as the two cookery expert, what should be done with them. Put everything in that big ditchy, I ordered. Pour half a tin of ghee over the lot. Add some nettle leaves and cook for half an hour. Next. When this was done, everyone had a taste, but the general opinion was that the dish lacked something. More salt, I suggested. More salt was added. It still lacked something. Add a cup of sugar, I ordered. Sugar was added to the concoction, but it still lacked something. We forgot to add tomatoes, said one of the scouts. Never mind, I said. We have tomato sauce. Add a bottle of tomato sauce. How about some vinegar? Suggested another boy. Just the thing, I said. Add a cup of vinegar. Now it's too sour, said one of the tasters. What jam did we bring? I asked. Gooseberry jam. Just the thing, empty the bottle. The dish was a great success. Everyone enjoyed it, including Mr. Oliver, who had no idea what had gone into it. What's this called? He asked. It's an all Indian sweet and sour jam potato curry, I ventured. For short, just call it Bond Bhujia, said one of the boys. I had earned my cookery badge. Poor Mr. Oliver, he wasn't really cut out to be a scoutmaster any more than I was meant to be a scout. The following day, he told us he would give a lesson in tracking. Taking a half-hour start, he walked into the forest, leaving behind him a trail of broken twigs, chicken feathers, pine cones, and chestnuts. We were to follow the trail until we found him. Unfortunately, we were not very good trackers. We did follow Mr. Oliver's trail some way into the forest, but then we distracted by a pool of clear water. It looked very inviting. Abandoning our uniforms, we jumped into the pool and had a great time romping around about or just lying on its grassy banks and enjoying the sunshine. Many hours later, feeling hungry, we returned to our campsite and set about preparing the evening meal. It was Bond Bhujia again. but with a few variations. It was growing dark, and we were beginning to worry about Mr. Oliver's whereabouts when he limped into the camp, assisted by a couple of local villagers. Having waited for us at the far of the forest for a couple of hours, he had decided to return by following his own trail, but in the gathering gloom, he was soon lost. Village folk returned home from the temple, took charge, and escorted him back to the camp. He was very angry and made us return all our good conduct and other badges, which he stuffed into his haversack. I had to give up my cookery badge. An hour later, when we all were preparing to get into our sleeping bags for the night, Mr. Oliver called out, "Where's dinner?" "We had ours," said one of the boys. "Everything is finished, sir." This is the last page. Last page, ये वाला. "Where's Bond? He's supposed to be the cook." "Bond, get up and make me an omelette." "I can't, sir." "Why not?" "You have my badge. Not allowed to cook without it. Scout rule, sir." "I have never heard of such a rule, but you can take your badges, all of you." We return to school tomorrow. Mr. Oliver returned to his tent in a huff, but I relented and made him a grand omelette, garnishing it with dandelion leaves and a chili. "Never had such an omelette before," confessed Mr. Oliver. "Would you like another, sir?" "Tomorrow, Bond, tomorrow. We'll breakfast early tomorrow." But we had to break up our camp before we could do that, because in the early hours of the next morning, a bear strayed into our camp, entered the tent where our stores were kept, and created havoc with all our provisions, even rolling out biggest dickie outside down the hillside. In the confusion and uproar that followed, the Mr. Bear entered Mr. Oliver's tent. Our scoutmaster was already outside, fortunately, and came out entangled in his dressing gown. It then made off towards the forest, a comical sight in its borrowed clothes. And though we were a troop of brave little scouts, we thought it better to let the bear keep the gun. So मैंने पहला चैप्टर जिसका नाम था बी प्रिपेयर्ड, वो मैंने इसकी रीडिंग कंप्लीट कर ली है. तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि अगली वीडियो में इसके मैं एक्सप्लेनेशन दूँगी, हिंदी में आसान शब्दों में ही दूँगी मैं. तो अगर आपको अच्छा लगा मेरा चैनल तो आप ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करिए, और अगली वीडियो के लिए आप बेल नोटिफिकेशन को इनेबल कर दें. और अगर आपको मेरी वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक ज़रूर करें, और अपने दोस्तों को शेयर ज़रूर करें. थैंक यू.